Broadcasting from the beautiful Great Lakes state of Michigan, I'm Tom Bartholomew, your host of the Michigan Contractor Show. And I worked in the construction industry for over 25 years. I started on a job site when I was 14, working for my dad on a vinyl siding job. Now I spend all my time running a digital marketing agency where I help contractors and companies in the skilled trade promote their business and reach customers in ways they never thought possible. Again, my name is Tom, and let's get to today's guest. My guest today has been working in Legal Shield for 18 years. Legal Shield provides affordable legal help for all. I want to welcome today Sheila and Carlos Byrd. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us, Tom. We really appreciate this opportunity to join you today on your show. We are just excited about what we've been doing, like you said, for those 18 years. I'll share a little bit about my background. Basically, I've been a registered nurse and I retired 5 years ago. And during my nursing career, I realized that I needed to have a second income, a plan B, because I didn't have the job security that I thought I would have. And so I realized that we had the most awesome opportunity with our plan we've had with Legal Shield. And using this service is what really set us up to really help other families. We just want to be of help and let others know that this even exists and can be of aid to them too. I'll let Carlos share his story.
Well, my background is formerly with Ford Motor Company, and I've had lots of jobs, of course, in the past as well. But when we found Legal Shield, it made a difference in our lives, and that changed our path and career because we got passionate about the services, how we can help other people, as well as how we use it ourselves. And we fast-tracked our way to retirement early. And we've been, like she said, for the last 18 years, been working Legal Shield.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I love that you guys, so you're saying that you were using it, you had it as a policy while you were doing nursing and various other jobs with Carlos. And then now, what made you really go? You said that you used it or had kind of an impact on it. And I know we talked before and it had something to do with Carlos's work, right? Can you tell me about that? How you kind of really got into, hey, this is a really serious product that we could stand behind.
Right. Carlos was working at Ford Motor Company, and they did an audit of all the employees there. And if you had a grandchild on your insurance policy, they wanted to audit to make sure that that grandchild was of age, or children were of age to be able to be on the plan. In our case, it was our granddaughter. I mean, our daughter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My stepdaughter.
And she was of age 18, but she had been removed from off our plan. But it didn't matter because what happened is Ford Motor Company continued to do that audit, and they were taking $100 a week out of Carlos's check. And we were, why? So we ended up contacting Ford Motor Company, and they said, well, you got to submit paperwork to prove it, which we did. But they still continue to deduct that $100. And so we were getting frustrated. We did everything they asked. So guess what? We decided to pick up the phone and call our provider law firm. Once we did that, the attorney was so helpful. He says, I will take care of this for you. He wrote a powerful letter that was addressed to Ford Motor Company's legal department. And guess what? They stopped those deductions immediately, and they refunded us back the $1,000 that they had taken from his pay.
Yep.
So that's what set us off on this journey right here.
Wow, what a powerful story of having a product. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Legal Shield, a lot of contractors, because that's who listen to this show. And maybe even some have it, but you're saying you had it and you were like, okay, well, this is what it's for. We better call them. And when you got a hold of your provider, they took care of it. And right away you got your refund. They stopped deductions, and he took care of it. Legal Shield did. So that's great. And that's what made you say, wow,
Absolutely.
what? That was so easy. I could really promote this. So,
Absolutely.
wow, what
That's
a great
exactly
story.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly what happened because I was so excited. I started sharing it with everybody that I knew, and people, started to understand the power of what the service have. So that's like you said, how we got going.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a great story. Thanks for sharing that. Now, so this show is the Michigan Contractor Show, and it's a lot of contractors are listening. What kind of services, maybe contractors have heard of Legal Shield, but maybe they don't realize that there's stuff for them. What kind of services do you provide or have for contractors?
Yeah.
Well, we actually have all kinds of services for contractors, and what we realize is that a lot of folks don't understand what our services is because we always hear things like, "Well, I don't get in trouble, or I don't need, legal services," and a lot of people try to handle things themselves. But what they don't realize is that having a program like this, and if you understand the product and service, you could save a lot of money. And by contractors, I know they look at or have a lot of contracts that they have to have looked at or reviewed, and it's best to have them done by an attorney. So with a service like ours, those contracts can be looked at no additional cost on a monthly basis. I want to give a quick example because it's also these contractors may deal with collection letters, and collection letters can cost, even though they may be a small cost, but if you're using 10 collection letters in a month and they're running about $150 each, that's over $1,000 per month. If you did that every month for 12 months, that's 18,000 that contractor would spend. But with our program, you can get those same 10 letters written with the monthly membership. And even if you had a double plan, the business and a family plan, that would only run about 1,800 in a year. So you could have multi plans with a whole lot less of expense. Absolutely. And it's so much more that the service can do.
Yeah, we'll get into some more of that. When I used to be a contractor, I was a contractor for 25 years. I started with my dad when I was 14, working with him, and as I got older, my dad retired, and I continued on with the company. There was one time on a job where somebody owed me $600, and it was we were talking about what. And this and that, and I kept sending them, just my own letters, and I finally decided I could have, $600. At that point, I was just like, I'm not going to try to go to court, and I wasn't going to hire an attorney. I didn't have an attorney, but you're saying something like this would have just been, I could have just went to them. I could have said, hey, this guy owes me $600, and right with my plan, that, like you said, I could have multiple plans for $1,800 a year, and that would have, and I would have covered that plus so much more. Wow, that is amazing.
Right.
Yeah, I just wrote that $600 off. At that point, multiple, going on for a year of me asking and, saying all this, and it never happened. So what about if I'm a contractor and somebody is all of a sudden suing me for some sort of damage to their property? I do have insurance, but somebody sues me for something that's maybe not covered under my liability insurance, my contractor insurance. Is that something that Legal Shield will help me with?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. With our services, if someone sues you, you already have a bank of dollars in attorney's time, pretrial and trial time, that you can elicit their services. They will fight that lawsuit for you in court. And their goal is to help you win that lawsuit. So therefore, it makes it easier for you not to have to hesitate on that decision. Because Tom, you would say that $600 was important to you no matter what, right? That's a part of your life. Well, this here, it will have you don't have to second guess. You just pick up the phone and call your provider law firm. And the attorney that specializes in business law, they're the ones that's going to go to court and fight for you and with you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a great service. I know that I sure could have used this when I was doing construction. So you had talked about a little bit or touched on contracts where they could have them look over the contracts. So I know when I was doing construction, I went to the local office center and bought a pack of where I could just kind of
Yep.
fill them out, copy them,
Yep.
or I might have went online. I know a lot of contractors go online and just try to find one to modify. But
Yep.
you're saying that I could have, with the service, an attorney will look that over and help me out with contracts.
Absolutely. So the same thing that you did, well, and a lot of people do, they would get some pre-written contracts and they would try to modify it themselves, but they don't know if it's exactly to their needs or to their best interest. But if they had an attorney that can look it over and tweak anything that may be necessary for them, now they know they've got a solid contract that's in their best interest. And that's what the attorneys do. They look out for you and your best interest in every contract that you would need written on your behalf.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that sounds like a great, just kind of that peace of mind, right? Because
Yes.
like I said, I just got one of those from the local office center where they had the pre-done ones, and I wasn't 100% sure if it would really fit my needs. It was for a home
Mhm.
builder, and I was a exterior remodeler, so it was a little
Mhm.
different, and I didn't know, so that would help a lot to be able to just, instead of putting down a retainer or hire an attorney every
Right.
time I want that. You're saying I
Right.
can just give them a call and
Mhm.
Absolutely.
wow, that's great.
And we have documents already in the back office that you can pull up. And a contractor type of document that you can take a look at, see if it fits your needs. But then the benefit of it is to be able to call the law firm and have the attorney modify it to fit your needs. They will review it, make sure it's covering you, protecting you and your business, and
Mhm.
to modify it and to make it perfect for you and the business that you're about to do.
Wow, that sounds great. And I'm sure that a lot of contractors listening to this right now are thinking about all the times that maybe they had to get a collection letter and pay that how much ever, a couple $100 for an attorney's time to help them do that, where they could have invested that same amount and had a lot, been able to do contracts, the collection letters. What other kind of services does Legal Shield provide for contractors?
So, well, for the business, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, of course, every business they would like to be able to have an attorney for unlimited consultation and advice, so they'll be able to call without worrying about the cost. They'll be able to have their letters and documents looked over on their behalf. No additional cost. They have designated consultation as well that they will be able to utilize. Um, Of course, we talked about debt collection letters and things like that, but also there's discounts that you would get because having a service like this, everything cannot be 100% covered. But anything that you would need to have access to where it's not under our 100% coverage service, then you will get an automatic 25% discount. And that's what's great because most attorneys don't give discounts. But where now, with this program, you can at least get the discounts. Unlimited consultation and advice is huge because now you'll be able to talk to an attorney without worrying about the clock and the cost. Okay. So,
We
um,
also provide interstate services too. So if you have business in another
oh,
state,
yeah.
you still have access to, or your
Mhm.
law firm that
Mhm.
will be able to provide that attorney to represent or help you with whatever the situation is in a different state. So that's phenomenal too, because we know it can be very costly if you start to go across in the lines of where your business is located. So. Mhm.
And then too, we have some additional benefits if you wanted to extend that business plan that we have. We have what we call a business plus that you can add things like business consultation is another area where if you're just starting out in business and you need to find out a little bit more about what type of business that you're in, you can consult with a business consultant that give you the whole spread of what your business that you're going into. They also have a host of business forms that you could use as well. And another thing that you'll be able to have a website built, do it yourself kind of website, but it's hosted at no additional cost. So you can, put that website together. and not worried about having to pay somebody else every month. It'll be hosted. You can interchange that website to your needs for your business as well. And then there's a great CRM tool that's included in that, and that is huge. And that is done through HubSpot. If you're familiar with that, HubSpot, I found out was a great program. I use it myself, and I'm just flat out excited about it because it's different from a lot of other CRM programs that I've used. So that's all included with the additional services that we provide for contractors.
Wow, what a great deal on all that website and the CRM HubSpot. Yes, I'm familiar. I use HubSpot and I recommend it and have set it up for many of my contractor clients because, they come and they're like, they use their email to organize their client lists. And I say, you got to do something different. And one of my favorite features about HubSpot is in their CRM, when you send out an email, you get notified when people open that email or click on a link. And it's just such a great tool for people to follow up. It gives you a lot of reminders to follow up. It's just a great tool. I also highly recommend it. So what a great offer. It comes right with it. That's amazing.
Yep.
Right.
So what about, I was talking with a contractor not too long ago, and he told me he was getting audited by the IRS. What a pain. And I've heard that before, with especially contractors, especially once you start getting bigger, right? Is there any type of services for an IRS audit?
That is a good question. That is a great question.
Absolutely.
You want to take it?
Yeah, I can take this. I love this about the service because, a lot of times, we're operating our business, or we can be a 1099 contractor, that you have some concerns about being audited. And we do have tax attorneys at your beck and call. We have different levels of plans, but it can afford you up to 50 hours of tax attorney's time they will help you during that audit. And that's very powerful because that's at no additional cost. It's included in the plan. And so a lot of our business owners are very, very excited about that because believe me, that's the peace of mind when you know that you have, that type of assistance behind you if you get audited.
Yep.
Wow, I'm sure that the contractor I was talking to sure would have I bet he wishes he had Legal Shield. Yes. Well, maybe he can get it now. That would be a great idea. So what about a lot of contractors have employees? What kind of do you have any kind of, we're talking about stuff for the company. This is coverage for the company. What about employees? Is there any type of plans for employees?
Absolutely. And that's another good question because our services extend to employee benefits that can help the employees. And the good thing about it is a company can offer a family plan to their employees at no cost to the company. It's all a voluntary program and it's an employee paid benefit. So we are finding now that a lot of companies are utilizing it as an employee benefit because it helps the family. It keeps their minds on the job when they don't have to worry about identity theft situation or legal situations and things like that, where they can just make a phone call to their attorney and get a lot of things done. That gives them, like you said earlier, peace of mind. And it helps keep them focused on the job and on things that they're doing as well. So that's exciting too.
And they can't use it against the company.
Right.
So that's another benefit for the business owners.
Oh, wow. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I like that. Now you touched on something there. So that we're getting into more like family type plans. Like we were originally talking about business plans to cover businesses and attorney's fees for business. Now, so there's family plans as well. And you touched on a couple of things. Tell me a little bit about the family plans.
Okay. Well, the family plan is how we got started and using the services. And a family plan is pretty much like what we were talking about the business. You got unlimited consultation and advice, and it's so much more because we also have mobile apps that you can download to give you easy access to services. For another example, we also have traffic ticket assistance. So if anyone ever got a traffic ticket, they could take a picture of that ticket through their mobile app, it would go right directly to the law firm. The law firm will give them a call back within 4 hours or less, speak to them about whether they want them to go for them or with them. And usually, if you're working or having any other business that you're attending, you want that attorney to go for you. You get the same results. That attorney will represent you in court. This is at no additional cost. The goal is to keep those points off your license so that your insurance don't go up. Okay, because that's a concern when you get a ticket. And I know that your insurance will go up, but the goal is to keep the points off your tickets. And if they can get that fine reduced, they would do that, but they will work on your behalf without you having to even be there to make that happen. And it's all convenience because you don't have to go, you don't have to be in court.
And there's another great benefit that we have, and that is right now, a lot of people are concerned about estate planning, getting their wills done, getting them, or even if they have one, you may want to get it updated. So we have, as a part of our service at no additional cost, is to be able to get a will done and completed by an estate planning attorney, get all your phone call, your consultation, your advice. They help you through it, but with the guidance of a will questionnaire. They provide that for you and your spouse or significant other that's on the plan with you. So that's another way that we can help families protect their family by having their voice and getting that one document that may be difficult to do, but it is something that we know is needed. We can get that done. We provide that for you at no additional cost, just for having the plan.
What great services. Legal Shield just does so much more than what I originally thought it did, of course. And you know, like I said before, I've heard of Legal Shield before, and I knew they were a legal service on a kind of monthly plan, so it's more affordable, but that's about all I knew. So I really appreciate that all this information. You had said something earlier, and I'd like to maybe have you explain a little bit more about identity theft. You know, that's huge right now. I hear about that. Absolutely. You hear about it all the time. News stories about identity theft. What kind of services, how would this help with identity theft?
Well, actually, we do have another additional service called identity theft. And Tom, you know,
ID Shield.
It's called ID Shield. But this is one reason, just like you said, a lot of folks don't know or understand about our service in the program. And this is why Sheila and I have really gotten involved with educating people first. We do weekly workshops on identity theft. We do weekly workshops on the wheel, because so many people think that identity theft is more about credit. But the way we do our workshops, we share with them all the issues with identity theft. So now they can see the broader picture of how they can be affected, them and their family. And identity theft is so bad now that the children are being affected, our seniors are being affected, even deceased is being affected because they're using their information, and they could be part of your family that can, wreak havoc on the family. So identity theft is important, especially during this pandemic, because there's so much fraud that's going on, and most people don't know what to do and where to turn. So with our program, if you have the identity theft as well as our legal services, then you have access to private licensed investigators that would do all the background checks to try to clear up that identity theft. And if there's a legal situation that comes out of that, now you got your attorney that can represent you for the legal situation.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What a great service. So where can people find out about that identity that you guys put on weekly? Where can people find out about that?
Well, it's on Facebook. It is also private messaging. It's out there, but we provide a link that you can just go on and register, and I can give that link. We're doing one this evening for identity theft, and that's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the link to register is bit.ly/identity with a capital I, theft with a capital T, and then awareness. Okay, with a capital A. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll make sure I put that in the show notes so people can find it. Yeah, we can put that in the,
yes. Mm-hmm.
And even if they don't get the one for tonight, is that the same link that they could where they would be able
Well,
to
for
find
the
it?
one for the will workshop, that was on Friday at 6 p.m. again, Eastern Standard Time. And the bit.ly link is different for that one. It's the same bit.ly/will with a capital toe, all in one though. These are all in one. Will workshop with a capital W again, and encore with a capital E.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, that's great.
Please join us.
Does there any cost to attend those? Free of
No,
charge.
it's absolutely
No cost.
free. It's all educational.
Oh,
Mhm.
that is wonderful. I want to go back. You'd kind of just brushed over a mobile app. You
Oh,
had said
yeah.
something about that. And you said if I got a ticket, when I was younger, I kind of had a lead foot. At one point, I had over 10 points on my license.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say that now, right?
Right. That's
I
okay.
haven't had a ticket in over 20 years, but when I was young, I had a whole bunch. And
Right. Right.
and you were mentioning about the mobile app. I could just put that in there. What if I were to get into more trouble than that, or I thought something, you never know what could happen. How long does it take with that app? How quick could I talk to somebody?
That is an excellent question. And I'll give you a quick example because, a lot of our members use this part of the service after hours. A lot of folks have attorneys, but they may not be able to get them at the time of need. And a lot of times things happens after hours. So one of our members, his son had an accident and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And he was in when the police came to the scene, he was in the back of the police car. And he got the car home and his dad came to the scene, but he couldn't get near his son. So they had Legal Shield. He was able to call the attorney at 2 o'clock in the morning. The attorney told him to wait till the officer is done with his investigation and then put me on the phone because the attorney understands what's going on. And he did just that. When the officer got done, Dad said, I have my attorney on the phone that would like to speak to you. Of course, the officer didn't believe it, but he would grab the phone. Whatever that conversation was with that officer and the police, he released the son into Dad's custody until they went to court on Monday because this was a weekend. When they went to court, that's when they got everything resolved. Okay. But the point was he was able to get a live attorney on the phone to represent you in that time of need.
And within 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you can dial in the phone.
Within
So
5
there's
minutes.
no hesitation. Wait.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yep.
at 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m. So that's one of the things that mobile app have is an emergency. It's because we call it the hotline. It's got a red button that you would hit and it would dial the attorney. And what it does, it dials, I guess you would call it an intake person first because they have to monitor that it is a real emergency. They don't want you to call at 2 o'clock in the morning and try to get your will done. Okay. You can call the regular hours for that. But, they monitor that if it's an emergency, they immediately call the attorney because it's like a hotline. And that attorney have to answer that phone because these are emergency calls. That's how you get connected within less than 5 minutes with a live attorney. So they have to have their phone on 24 hours, those in situations like that.
What a great service because you can't get a hold of an attorney on the weekends or if they're on vacation.
Exactly.
They might have went to Hawaii and good luck. Oh man.
And the other part about the service that I failed to mention is that you have access to a law firm in all 50 states. You are represented in every state by one of the top law firms in each one of those states. So the situation with the ticket I talked about, if it was out of state, the same results, you would be able to call your law firm, your provider law firm would contact an attorney in that particular state. You would get that state attorney on the phone as well to represent you even out of town.
Wow, that's an excellent. So it's not just one. Like all the attorneys are down in Alabama or something, you have one in every state, a firm, Legal Shield does that is working for you. So if you're across state lines, get pulled over, you got to get it taken care of. Wow, amazing.
We got over
Well, you got me sold. How much would all this cost? I mean, is it $5 a month, $100? What kind of stuff you got going on?
It's very, very affordable. And that's what we love about it, because it was designed for people like you and I who can't afford the high cost of getting an attorney. Or if you do already have an attorney, you may sometimes not want to use that attorney because of the cost, and you can utilize a service like this. We have many business owners that also do that. So with the cost for our family plan, it's $24.95 per month. And it includes you, your spouse, or significant other, your children up to the age of 26. And I love saying this because it's so important to cover our children, our younger children that may be living at home with us, who may be away in college, full-time college students. Things can happen, and you want to make sure that they're covered too. So they're also covered. Any children that may have a physical or mental disability, they're covered, or the children that you might have legal guardianship. They're all covered, all for that $24.95. It's a family plan. So it gives you a peace of mind. It doesn't go up because you have more involved in your family. So that's one of the things we pride ourselves with about our plan. And then
the identity theft is as well the same thing. It's $24.95 as well. They have full service coverage for your entire family, and it covers the children up to the age of 18. But still, they're covered for those identity theft situations.
Yeah, we know children can become victims and not even know it until they turn age 18 and decide to go and buy their first car. So, we definitely, you want to have those children monitored also. And then with our business plan that we have, it's actually, so we have a plan that we fit all needs. This is what I can say. So if you are a business owner and you work from home, you have your home-based business, you also have a plan where you can just add a business plan to your family plan for an additional $12.95. Everything we talked about, okay, add it to your family plan. Okay, but with business owners that may have a more robust business, they can have a plan starting at $49 a month. Think about how affordable that is, and the cost of just picking up the phone and calling an attorney that specializes in business law. So this is $49 a month. This gives you access to everything we talked about. We even have a plus plan that's a little bit more robust. It gives you a little bit extra with your service, especially if you think that you're someone who's going to be sued or possibly sued. We always want to be prepared for something like that. The plan starts at the plan is $99 per month. Okay. And then if you're a business owner and you have business partners, your partner can be on those plans with you. And that's huge too. No additional cost to add your partner on there, because they're working the business with you, and they may have questions they need to call for you on your behalf regarding your business. And then our last plan is called Small Business Plan Pro. And you can have up to 5 users on that plan. Okay. And it's very robust, and it's only $169 a month for that plan. So if you're a business owner and you really want to get everything that you possibly can think of covered for your business, being able to pick up that phone and have that protection without worrying about trying to solicit the services of an attorney that's going to start you right off the bat with so much more. It's so much more expensive than that $169 a month. You can utilize our service.
And then you don't have to worry about how many employees you have either.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you can get an hour's worth of an attorney's time for $169, can you?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow, what a great deal. I mean, and you know what else that was crossing my mind when we were talking here today is that if I, even like you said, even if you have another attorney, but if I have an attorney, he probably only covers one type of law. He's very specific, right? So, so I might keep that relationship with him on those specific things, but this will help me with all the other things.
Everything.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All that.
Yes.
So, what a great and affordable. I mean, that is definitely, if you, especially nowadays, the construction business right now, everybody I'm talking to, it's booming. It is booming. The housing business, real estate, houses. These guys are building houses and selling before they can get through. So that $169 is very affordable for them. I know that it is, and it will just help protect them so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Well, where can they? Okay, so yeah, I like that. Those plans. Where could somebody find you for the Legal Shield, find you and get some of this coverage?
Well, we have a website that you can go to if you want me to talk it out. So it is you got two.
Byrd,
yeah, it's W Byrd. That's our last name. WBYRD 00. I mean, I'm sorry, WBYRD 19 dot wearelegalshield.com. Okay.
Okay, and that's where they can find all the information on all these plans, of family plans, starting at the $24.99 all the way up to the company plan for $169, the business plans.
Correct. Absolutely.
All right.
And the identity theft as well.
Okay. Well, I think that's great. Anything else that you'd like to tell the contractors out there?
Well, I would like to say, it's best to educate yourself first before you prejudge, because it's just like you didn't know, and it's a lot of people that don't know about our service and what we provide. And just like myself, before we even got involved, I didn't know either until we, listened to a presentation and got ourselves educated. And I sat back and said, wow, I could have used this for a whole lot of things. So once I signed up and got involved, I did use it for a lot of things. And that's what helped save us so much time, money, and aggravation. And that's why we got so passionate about sharing it with other people, because it was more than, about any income. It's more about how we can help other folks and help them save like we did. So I would just encourage you to take a serious look at a program like this, because it can help you save money, it can help protect your business, and it can help you grow as well.
Well, I think that's great, and and it's very affordable. I mean, there's just no doubt about that, and I think this can really help a lot of contractors out there. Well, Sheila and Carlos, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day and coming on here and educating me and all the listeners out there on Legal Shield and how to protect their business and their family. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having us, Tom.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed this show and the conversation here with Sheila and Carlos, give us a thumbs up. Tell us down in the comments what you liked about this, and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell so you'll be notified. We put out a new episode every Tuesday. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you would like to be a guest on this show, head on over to MichiganContractorsShow.com. Fill out the form, and we'll get back to you and figure out the best day for you to appear on an upcoming episode. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday.